everybody, and welcome back to Organised Joy. We are into the M's, as you know, and we're into March now. Another M. And today's episode is all around moving. About 18 months ago, Andy and I moved into our new house. And let's not kid around, anyone who's moved knows how stressful that is. I have moved 11 times since I left home, my first time of leaving home. I've lived alone, I have lived with my brother, I've lived with a friend, I've stored stuff before, twice actually, while I lived with somebody else waiting for a house to be ready or to be built. And all along the way I've gathered my little tips and tricks, and I have put those into a list for you, so that hopefully it can help you if you are moving or if you're about to move, or one day when you are moving you might remember and you can come back and have a look at it. Now obviously there's a list that you can find at organisedjoy.co.za in the list section. I've broken it down into 3 sections for you, but I've also linked everything below in the description blocks. So if you want to go and have a look, you can. Wait till we get to the end though, but it's all there for you. The first section of the list is called planning, and planning can happen actually as soon as you know you're moving. There's various things on the list you can do straight away, and then things as you go along you can work out the things you need to do when. The first thing to do is to declutter or clean out. Now you can either do this as you are packing, so as you get into a room, declutter, chuck out the things you don't want, and then obviously pack, as you go in. Or what you can do, which I would do, is go into each room and declutter first. Get rid of all the things that you don't want, and then you're only packing what you do need. So you go into each room and check what is going with you and what is not. What is not going with can be put into various piles. Either there's piles to chuck away because it's so old or broken and shouldn't go to anybody, or there is a pile for friends where you know someone may need it or want it, or there is a pile for charities, hospitals, children's homes, old age homes, etc., where you can literally get things boxed up or wrapped up and taken to them, or some of them even collect, which is really cool. And it's good to get rid of all that stuff before you try and pack, because then you get mixed up and you're not sure what's what. The next thing I would do is get your pets chipped. For anybody who has not done that yet, my little munchkins, the 2 of them, James had been chipped as we got him because he was a puppy from a rescue, and they do that as standard. But Julie and Jessie hadn't been. So I went and had them chipped. So if, God forbid, in the chaos of the move at the new place and they get out because a mover lets them out for some bizarre reason, you know, they can be returned to you as quickly as possible. All the vets do it. Identi Pet is probably the best one. Then you need to decide on your moving company. Now it's always good to get a few quotes. They will want you to tick off a whole list of all the things that you're taking with, and that's why it's good to declutter before, so that you can really see what you're taking with and can give them an accurate idea of what needs to be taken. And they need this, guys, because of the size of the truck they're going to bring you, not just to be a pain in the ass and not to overcharge you. Otherwise you're left with a horrible extra bill at the end. Now I have moved, as I said, 11 times. I have used reliable removals. They have also stored all my stuff the 2 times that I needed to store, and they have moved my brother, my mother, all kinds of people I've suggested to them, and I have never had a problem, but I will link them below for you in case you want. Then you need to order your boxes, boxes, and the tape, that tapes them up. Now lots of removal companies will do that for you. You can order from them, they deliver to your house. Or you can order separately. What's nice about reliable removals is they will take away boxes that you have finished unpacking and that are still usable, that you flatten down afterwards. They'll come and collect them and give you a refund, which is quite nice. I also went and got a massive roll of bubble wrap, which wasn't surprisingly all that expensive, but it's just so good to wrap ornaments and pictures and all that kind of thing in, and I pretty much used the whole roll, which was a bonus. With that, you also need to collect all the newspapers along the way and magazines to wrap up cutlery and crockery and all that kind of thing. If you work somewhere that gets the newspaper every day, just tell them that at the end of the day, instead of chucking them out, to give them to you, and you start collecting. Then when you already know where you're going, it's very good to know what TV and IT things need to happen to your new house and plan for that. Get them in to quote on what you need done, because you want that to be done before you move in. You want to move in and be able to plug in your TV, that at least that very first night you can just lie down on whatever you may have and or at least watch something on television to relax, because you're going to be exhausted. You want your fiber installed beforehand. So get them in to quote so that you know what you're doing, and the day before you're moving, get them in to do it, or at least the day you do move. Then the other thing that I have done the last few times is I have booked a cleaning company to come in the day before I move and clean the new house. Now, I've used Mollywood maids before, quite a few times actually, even with my mom, and they come in with a team of ladies, and each lady takes one room and cleans that room like you've never in your life. And it's so nice to be able to move into a new house that feels new because it's clean. You don't want to get there and you're having to clean out cupboards and people have left their old rubbish they were never taking with there. So it's always nice to just get that done the day before. And if you're getting people to install TV cabling and fiber and all of that, you can do it all on that one day. The next thing to do is work out that packing schedule around your diary that you know you have and what's coming up. So either pick weekends and do a whole lot of rooms at a time, or pick a room a night. Whatever works for you, it doesn't really matter, but do it and then stick to it, because you don't want to be rushing and pack incorrectly, then things break and stuff. So you want to be able to pack it up as you go, and pack up a lot of stuff at the beginning that you don't need to worry about, and then you do the little bits at the end. And then that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier, is my point around packing. Pack your boxes based on the rooms they're going to. So don't go into one room and pack everything in one room. Pack per room that stuff will go to, so that you've got boxes for the new rooms. Then they get taken into the new rooms at your house and you can unpack there instead of trying to figure out what the hell's going on in all your boxes. And remember, a good thing to do is work out how you're going to label your boxes up front. So label them by the room they're going to, or by numbers, that you have a list of boxes. But for me, I just label them the room I want them to go to, and I just put a little brief description of what's in it, so that you know if you're looking for something where to go. And then the last thing to do in the planning section is to take a picture of each of your appliances, how all the cords and wires and all of that stuff are done, especially on televisions and RT systems. So, and like behind your TV, into your DSTV and your decoder and your DVD player and your sound system and all of that. If you take a picture of where all the cords go, when you unplug it all, to plug it back in when you're there is so much easier. Pull out the picture, plug it in the same. Okay, then on to the next section. That is the section called Just Before You Move. The day before you move, you need to make sure all the right people know that you're moving addresses. So like your insurance company. They need to know that your household contents and your car are no longer insured at the address you were at. They will, as of tomorrow, be insured from the new address. If you have chipped your pets, Identipet need to know, so that they know where you are now. And if your pet is, God forbid, lost and they find him or her, they can get him or her back to you as quickly as possible. Then what you also need to do is put together a little moving kit for yourself. Now this is something that stays with you in the car, and it's a whole little things you may need on the day before you actually start unpacking. So the obvious ones are sponges and cloths and dustbin bags, and a couple of toilet rolls are always good. You want to also have some hand cream with you, because you're going to be cleaning your hands the whole day, because they just get dirty and they get so dry and sore. You need sunlight liquid so that you can wash your hands. You need some tissues for runny noses and all kinds of things. Handy Andy, also very good to have on you. And then cold drinks and water bottles. The next thing is all the adapters that actually plug in all your appliances. So those long adapters that hold a whole lot of plugs. Don't pack those. The day before you move, unplug as many as you can, or the morning that you're moving, so that last one with the television. and take them, if you can, the day before. Take them and place them all in the house so that when the appliances come in, they literally get plugged in and they're in the right place. The very last one that you unplug only on the morning of, just keep that with you in the car so that you can place it as you get to the new house. Now obviously, as you are moving towards moving out, you need to use up as much as you can in your freezer and your fridge. You don't want to be buying stuff and putting it in there because it's just going to go off. So use up as much as you can, because the day before you really want to be almost empty in that fridge, because you need to defrost it before you start moving. You don't want all that ice in the freezer defrosting while you're moving, because it will wet boxes and everything that's inside those boxes. Make sure you buy your food and your snacks for the day of moving the day before. Make sure you buy things that don't need knives and forks, things that are easy to eat, apples, biltong, nuts, that kind of thing, or sandwiches that are already made. And then what is a good tip is to buy a whole load of cold drinks in cans that you can pop into the fridge as soon as you get into the new place. And plug that fridge in, because people that are coming in and out of your house and doing things like the movers and IT guys and TV cable guys, they generally get thirsty and are going to ask you, do you have a cold drink? Do you have some water for me? You don't have a glass to give them water. So if you have a whole lot of cans of cold drinks, you can just dish them out. And then the day before, make sure you check the time the movers will arrive the next morning so that you know exactly what to expect. And don't be late, be ready. Then the last section is the day of moving. Now, by this time, everything should really be arranged for you. You're waiting for the movers to arrive. Make sure you wear something comfortable and casual and tackies so that you are comfy the whole day. Things you can layer up or layer down depending on if it's cold or hot, because all the moving is going to make you pretty warm. So you want to be able to layer off if you need to. And then as the movers arrive, make sure your little munchkins are locked in a room that the movers do not need to get into. So or outside, whatever it may be. But if you've got patio furniture that needs to go as well, you need to put the dogs inside, get that done, then move them outside. Then they literally get put into your car, nobody else's, as you're about to leave. Once you get to the new house, put them either outside again or into a room until all the moving is done. You don't want them to be stressing. They're also going to feel the fact that they are moving with you and that you're under pressure. They feel it. So try and keep them isolated and keep going and checking on them so that they know you haven't left them. When I moved into this house, my little Jesse, he did not leave my side. He shook the whole day. He was so upset. But because I stayed with him, he was okay. If I had left him, he would have been a mess. So just remember, they also have little feelings and need to be managed. And then the last thing is, you're so organized, now it starts. And the real tip and trick here is to just go with the flow. Some things will go differently to what you planned and not exactly according to how you wanted, but just go with it. They will move everything, they will get to the other side, they will unpack everything, and you will start unpacking boxes. It just happens like that. And those are my tips and tricks for you. I hope that will help you one day when you move. And if you have any ideas for any of the people watching this for moving that I've missed, please add it in the comments box below. We can share it with everybody watching. There is a list that you can find on Organized Joy. I've linked everything below for you as well in the description box, so go have a look. If this video has helped you or could help you one day or could help a friend, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please hit subscribe now. Have a nice day.